Welcome to this edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector. Coming up, the Cultural Division's Summer Art Program has been open to the public. Work is ongoing on the Springfield to Cochrane Link Road, and Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit believes that geothermal energy is the solution to high energy costs. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories after this.
The black Sikatuka fungus can survive on banana and plantain leaves even after they have been cut from the tree. Farmers and hucksters are encouraged to use alternate cushioning material when moving produce from farm to the market. Do not use banana and plantain leaves as cushioning. It is against the law to move banana and plantain trash from the field. Obey the law and stop the spread of black Sikatuka today.
Thank you for staying with us. Construction is ongoing on the Springfield to Cochrane Link Road. GIS News met with Parliamentary Representative for the Roosevelt constituency, Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre, on Thursday on the Cochrane end of the project.
What we have done here is to pave from the junction of Springfield. This is the Imperial Road, way up to the top of Cochrane here. We put in quite a bit of money into this road, which cost us quite a bit of money. And what we are doing right now, there's a little part of the road from the top of the village here, Cochrane, joining to the central Cochrane village road. And you know, it was a little rough for us at the time because the first project didn't take it to the end of this road here. So what we are doing today, as you can see under this weather, is we are paving this road, and we're looking at about 6 inches of concrete here, which is, of course, I've always mentioned about using Solomon, which is the La Falaise type of tarish, with cement, a proper mix, and I think we're getting a pretty good road pavement here.
The Roseau Valley MP believes the rehabilitation of the Springfield-Cochrane Road will aid in the successful hosting of this year's Rabbit Festival.
We have a nice little loop. You start from River Estate all through Cochrane up to the hill here, joining into the Springfield Road and back down on the Springfield Road. That's quite a lovely loop for the festival. When you come up here, you can park along the road here. You can enjoy your festival, which comes up in August, and then there's easy access out of the village to avoid any sort of major traffic jam based on the crowd we're expecting here. So this is another project of government partnering with the people of Cochrane in terms of helping them in terms of their roadways. Also too, in the people who use the Springfield Road to go to work, some of them go to work in the east and different places. This is a much easier route to travel rather than having to go down to River Estate and up through this Imperial Road, where they can catch it right at the junction here and move on to the various areas. So we're very happy about this road and people are happy about it.
$30,000 have already been allocated for the project.
We're expecting that might cost us in the range of about at least, you know, under $70,000 based on where we want to take this road. Because what we want to do at the end of it too as well is to put in the necessary drains, you know, to allow for drainage and to prevent the erosion of our road. The mix is pretty good, so I'm not worried about the base itself and the paved road, but more in terms of, you know, erosion of the size and whatnot, so we can have a lovely road with proper drainage that can drain this road properly. Of course, one of the biggest challenges in Dominica is the fact that, you know, high rainfall area, Cochrane being a blessed village, of course, with all the rains coming from Topito and Cochrane into this area. Good for agriculture as well, to serve in terms of helping our people here. So I think we're looking at something about, you know, 70,000. Try to see if we can get it in, you know, a little cheaper than that, but we don't want to compromise this road. We want to make sure that the connection is pretty good and strong.
The project has resulted in employment opportunities for 12 residents of Cochrane. The parliamentary representative has plans for getting these young men into the National Employment Program.
We have it in sort of a shift system. Like we put a certain set on this week. Of course, the main guys, you know, skilled fellows, they'll be on full time. But because of the number of young men who have shown interest in being part of this program, we are doing sort of a rotational basis. This week is your week. Next week is another set week. But what I want to do at the end of this road here itself is to employ them under the National Employment Program for road improvement, village beautification, and all this sort of things, so they can be gainfully employed. Because the whole aim of this program, kickstarting onto the or being part of the national or flowing onto the National Employment Program, is to make sure that we have our young men, especially, and women, of course, gainfully employed, such that they can be doing positive things for themselves. And of course, it serves in terms of village development as well too, and they are part of it, so they can own it.
The current phase of the rehabilitation of the Link Road is expected to be completed within 1 month. In more news, Dominica has been given a chance to play its role in the collection of tsunami information thanks to the efforts of the Office of Disaster Management and the Seismic Research Center at the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus in Trinidad. On a tour of one of the newly erected seismic information centers in Salisbury, Lloyd Lynch of UWI's Seismic Research Center noted that the collection of data for the Caribbean Tsunami Information Center must be a collaborative effort.
The tsunami warning system that we're striving to have in the Caribbean will be a regional institution. So you'll have contribution from various stakeholders within the monitoring circles. All the seismic monitoring agencies have made commitment to put in installations that have met minimum standards such as this, and they will upload data to the Tsunami Warning Center.
He further stated that within communities that are developing seismic monitoring systems, work groups have been formed to encourage disaster preparedness.
Within the community that's building the tsunami warning system, there is a work group responsible for preparedness, and that work group has been working with agencies such as the ODM to identify at-risk communities and make sure that the information or systems in place to disseminate such alerts to the communities at risk is functional.
Lynch also revealed that there is a working group in Dominica responsible for monitoring hazardous areas so persons can be prepared in case of emergencies.
There is a working group that's responsible for identifying the hazardous areas in terms of low-lying areas where there is likely to be a lot of run-up. Good. And once this is done, work is done with the local community to identify evacuation routes and things like that. Install alarms or systems to interrupt broadcasts to alert the at-risk population.
According to the United Nations Education and Scientific Cultural Organization, 11% of the world's fatal tsunamis originate in the Caribbean and its adjacent seas, with almost 100 tsunamis impacting 23 countries in the region in the past 500 years. In other news, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit believes geothermal energy is a solution to high energy costs. The Dominica leader made the remark during a site visit to Dominica's first commercial geothermal well in Loda.
The solution to high energy costs is to explore what the good Lord has given to you, as they have done in other countries in respect to fossil fuel. He has given to us a resource called geothermal. And it is the wish that we take advantage of what we have to our benefit.
Minister for Employment, Trade, Industry and Diaspora Affairs, Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre, has described as successful the first meeting of the OECS Economic Affairs Council. Dr. McIntyre, who chaired the St. Lucia meeting, told GIS News that the officials discussed the OECS growth and development strategy as well as the education strategy and the policy.
What the Economic Affairs Council has in stock, or its mandate, would be to look at all the areas of economic generation. And of course we speak here of tourism, we speak here of agriculture, we speak here of trade, and of course we speak here of the banking systems.
The meeting was held at a time when the economies of OECS member states are undergoing difficulties. Representatives of these states discussed the facilitation of private sector development and the status of the 8-point stabilization and growth program initiated by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank.
The globe has changed. There are quite a bit of challenges facing the world, and of course in particular the OECS and the wider CARICOM body. But the preference here, speaking here today, we're speaking about the OECS, and we want to make sure that we look after the needs of the people. Free movement, one economic zone, and whatever it takes to get that sort of harmony and freedom within ourselves, within that OECS space, whereby we can come from Dominica, we go to St. Lucia, we go to St. Vincent, Grenada, and you know, all this Antigua, all these different places in the OECS where we can move, we can do business, and the whole aim here is to build the OECS, a small community with dynamic people, very, very diverse. The OECS has done well in terms of the organization and the various organs. We have the Assembly recently established as well too, and this one following, which is the Economic Affairs Council as a new organ under the OECS body, and the aim here is to make sure that we do the work for the people of the OECS.
The Cultural Division says part of its mandate is to contribute to the perpetuation of Dominica's culture. This is why the division's summer art program is once again open to the public. GIS News spoke with Aaron Hamilton on Thursday. Hamilton is an artist and art tutor with the Cultural Division.
The division has always been proactive in the arts, and it has been something that is going on for a number of years. The Cultural Division is maintaining our arts and our culture. It's there so to preserve. It's there so to see a continuance of what we do as our cultural heritage. And we have to continue in the arts, the different art forms, and we have to preserve it for our future generation.
Courses being offered for adults this summer include accordion playing, stage management, Creole head tying, Creole dolls, and photography, among others. Hamilton described the thinking behind the selection of those courses.
The courses were chosen because we see a need for bringing back to the hearts of the people these things, like some of the adult courses we have, like the Geothermal. These things have been going out. People are not interested in that anymore, so we want to bring that back. We want to bring that back as our culture, as a people who do these things. Creative little arts and creative little crafts with these things, and see where we can create industries with these things. Not only just to look at it as just a Geothermal, but create an industry with it.
For children 7 to 10, creative dance, percussion ensemble, drama, and art and craft are available. Aaron Hamilton is the art and craft instructor. He says students will use watercolor paints, pencils, paper mache, and other mediums to express their creativity. The goal is for students to understand what it means to create without rigid boundaries.
We start with children drawing sketches like watercolors, just some small artwork, just to free them up, and so that they could be creative, helping them to use their creativity rather than forcing them into any, structured thing, but just helping them to be creative and nurturing them through it. The format is, as you nurture them, and when you see the potential and the talents, you help them to grow even further.
With 3 years of experience under his belt, Hamilton knows that parents appreciate the courses.
Parents love it. What I've seen so far, parents are happy when they see the children can produce such nice works. And they themselves, it reflects in, they said, oh, they could do that, and now the children is doing it. So it makes them happy, it brings a joy to them. So I think the parents should continue to send their children to these things and help the children to express themselves more, to open up more to the world. You can never know what happens.
Class hours are feasible for the working adults, and the deadline for registration is July 2nd. Meanwhile, Energy Minister Honorable Rayburn Blackmore says the government has adopted the best practices in the business as it develops its geothermal energy project. Honorable Blackmore's comments were in response to the critics of the program, who suggest that no environmental impact survey was conducted.
At every level of the process, the test wells process, we had an EIA done. At the production well level, an EIA was done. At every instant, we sought and received permission from the Physical Planning Agency.
So we have been able to adhere to the fundamental best practices throughout the processes, and we're glad for that.
And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à ces nouvelles en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Louis. Premièrement, membre parlement pour grand fond, Honorable Ivor Stevenson, qui a fait parole satisfaction et puis représentation constitutionnelle là. Sinon, Honorable Stevenson, qui a considéré la situation là, il vraiment mérité un autre terme comme membre à parlement pendant l'autre élection là.
Les gens considèrent que ce n'est pas en ayant constitutionnelle. Il y a autant de constituency, tout parle pour quoi. Et puis pour ça, moi j'ai tapé en ayant 4 années. Je suis bien content ça moi j'ai fait pour qui la vie dans la constituency mais ça moi j'ai ouais tant ça moi là. Moi j'ai fait autant, moi j'ai qui mon tapé glo en fouéal. Mon tapé glo en place que plate la civique. Moi j'ai qui mon tapé plus clairté ka créer mon les moun ka marcher moi ka tout le village là no qui était en tout le village là ka limé les osé moi j'avais qui nous travaille autant chimie dans ces sections chimie enfant ça nous devait qui autant dans chimie a été damagé la pluie tombée damagé place là et puis nous ouais qui ces sections chimie ça rangé moi j'avais qui nous taper glo gonfond plein fil gonfond autant moun tapé assistance de l'école nous ni actuellement en l'investigue on bosse ka chez enfants hot foyer pour mener yo dans l'école mondiale so ça c'est bagaille qui pas jamais fait dans la constituency so pour moi actuellement mon cas qui moi j'ai fait ça mon pays pour qu'il laver mon dans la constituency plus meilleur.
En autre nouvelle, habitant Dominique a tapé bon avis pour changer manière de cultiver figues et puis bananes aux lignes de maladie Black Sigatoka qui a affecté l'industrie là. Parole cela sorti au chef département quarantine Ryan Ansem.
Black Sigatoka c'est une maladie ou pas ça fait bagaille là qu'on t'a fait avant. Moun kan est d'accord, c'est mettre un knapsack en l'air d'eau avec spray. C'est planter à cadre nous pas venir spray, nous pas spray. Mais ça nous dit c'est planter. Black Sigatoka pour contrôler chemical là même, il très cher parce que yon cycle pour faire yon cycle, il a compté gouvernement $100,000 plus pour juste faire yon cycle. So il ça quoi qui anglais best practice en Martinique, en Guadeloupe, en Cuba et en Jamaïque. Monsieur Mounsa là, j'ai fait research avec 3 vailles pour garder comment il a réduire combien spray cycle il a fait. En Martinique, il a seulement fait 10 par année. Ça nous les pour nous faire sanitation na deliver ou ça nous ça fait 4, nous ça fait 5. So ces stratégies nous les moun savent et pas seulement spray. So nous les faire deliver la sanitation avec nutrition avec un des programmes là.
La nouvelle, plus que 60 résidents communauté Maho actuellement ni opportunité de faire la vie à eux meilleure selon National Employment Program qui est lancé en communauté là. Mon parlement Honorable Ribbon Blackmore en parole est délivré en cérémonie pour te lancer le programme là lundi dit qu'il y a un aspect programme là qui tape attention c'est tourisme communauté et aussi fait parole qui attention comité à ce vocational training. Programme là qui a aussi employé moun pour travailler pour faciliter l'éducation et puis pour assister et puis projet de beautification. Honorable Blackmore aussi fait parole que le programme cela c'est démonstration gouvernement Labour Party enlever standard dominicain. Quand même si l'on parole hot Board Office National Employment Program, plus que 65 moun hot one salam qu'a tapé employement en bas programme là. Où le gouvernement a dépensé $730,000 payés salaire. Le gouvernement a déjà poursuivi équipement pour 6 pour 12 mois, contrat là, ensemble et puis chèque pour payer salaire pour 3 mois. Mon parlement Blackmore a encouragé ces participants là pour faire un travail là bien formidable et puis chaîne bien soutenable. Finalement, habitant Dominique a poursuivi certains plans d'Away en plaisir l'occasion tout mon pays là. Parole ça la sortie office de certification, Mr. Joseph Blankford.
Nous avons bité ko zaboka, bité ko mango, passion fruit, tous ces plats après ça, les pour commencer vanio, nous saison a ouvert, so you sa arrivé bon aller bon agricultural station là, Guatas, Woodford, Guabi, La Plaine et Botanical Gardens pour gagner ces plats là, yo besoin.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson, c'est Luce. Voilà.
A home remedy to combat itchy skin, coming up next in today's tip.
What's for dinner?
I know, but you want Cheryl.
Who? Cheryl? Oh, babes, that's nothing.
Nothing within there, but that is nothing.
Hon,
come on. Whatever.
You know you're my number
And
one.
she's number what, 10? Plenty married women get engaged from the husband these days. I don't want to be one of them. From now on, I'm looking out for me.
But babes, I only talk to the woman.
Until I'm certain this will take care of both of us, if you're lucky.
Your family depends on you. Don't take home aids.
In-studio discussions, insight, Creole News, Road to the Throne, Calypso, Creole Festival, Carnival, and lots more local programming. See it all on the Government Information Service, your first for local news.
To combat itch in the absence of calamine lotion, baking soda and water has been proven to do the trick. Mix 1 part baking soda with 1 part water and apply as a paste. The relief is almost instant and lasts until your next bath. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and your comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Friend us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Desk, thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.